Welcome. This video is going to demonstrate how to make a potato masher in Fusion 360. This model is part of the How Graphic Communication CAD Challenges set of models. Now the model is focusing on sweep, so we need to draw the centre lines that's directed on the model. So we'll start with the plan, do a new sketch on the top work plane, then we to click the Look At button. On the plan, we start with a line up by 40mm, so then I got a curve at the top. To do the curve, let's find the centre of a circle by drawing a line in by 4 and then draw the circle in place. Just going to change that horizontal line to a construction line. It's really important on a sweep we've got a singular line for the profile to follow along. Now we need quite a few of these circles, so we're going to use a rectangular pattern tool, which is known as an array, to create them. So select the object and the direction. We're looking to have 8 for a quantity on the top, and the distance is going to be 16. Make sure you've got spacing selected as distance type. There we are. Okay, next thing we want to do is draw a line vertically down the way. The line's going to be 80mm in length. Now at this stage, it's really important the line touches the circle at a tangent, so we can use the Tangent Constraints tool. It's a circle with a line attached to it. Click the line and click the circle to make sure the circle touches at one point. We can then repeat that down, the same thing down the bottom. So draw a line that's horizontal by 4, draw the circle in place, and we can make sure that's touching at a tangent once more. Then using the rectangular pattern tool, we can select the circle, we can choose the direction, just click the arrow to change the direction. Make sure spacing is selected. This time we're looking for a quantity of 7. And the distance will be the same as above, so that's 16 once more. Now using the line tool, we can draw lines between each of the circles, like so. I'm now going to draw a horizontal line through the centre and make a construction line, just to help doing the last part. So we get the last line in place. Now it's important, as I said before, that they're all at tangents, so we can go along there and just make sure all these lines are drawn at tangents using the Constraints tool. And then finally, using the Trim tool, that's the scissors, we can trim away the parts of the circles we don't need. Remember, before the sweep, we just need a continuous line. And any other lines, like that horizontal one I've just done just now, we can turn them to construction lines. Now we want to draw the end part. So on this bit work plane here, we're going to start by drawing a line up 7.5mm, and this is going to find the centre of the circle. Now we're going to draw the circle. We'll need 1/2. So we can cut the circle by drawing another line. This line's going to be 47.5 in length. So using the trim tool once more, we can trim away the part of the circle we don't need and other parts of the lines. At this stage, just rotate your work just to check the curve blends into the lines you've already got. You don't want to take the wrong side of the circle away. And then using the fillet tool, we can fillet this corner edge here by 7.5. There we are, that gives us the end part of the path. Now we want to do the exact same thing on the other side, so we're going to go add a point to the end of the line on the far side. We can then use the offset work plane, selecting the work plane like so, and then the point to position it. We can then draw on that work plane, and we're looking for the exact same thing on the opposite side. So use project geometry, that'll project the lines onto this work plane, like you can see. Now select the middle work plane. This is the last part of the path we need to draw. So remember, we're looking for the middle lines. So I'm going to draw a line out by 10. This is going to find the centre point of a circle, and we can draw a circle in place. For this next circle, we want to draw a line across by 40. We're then going to draw a line up by 100, and then a line across and up to find the center point of the second circle. And where the lines cross, we want to draw a circle that's got a diameter of 10. Next step is to find the top of the masher. So we're going to draw a line up by 200 and then across the way just long enough so it goes past the circle. Next step, we're going to draw a line between each circle. Make sure that it's touching a tangent, so use the tangent constraint tool like shown. We can then draw a line from the right hand side of the circle all the way up to the top line we just drew. And at the top we've got a nice curve once more, so we're going to use a circle to do that. So we'll draw a line in by 5 and then draw a circle in place. Now we only want 1/4 of the circle, so we can draw a line to use as a cutting line and then use the trim tool to leave 1/4 of the circle. I'm just going to make the lines I don't need construction lines and trim off the parts of the circles that I don't need as well. And before the sweep you want a continuous single line. There we are. Now, next thing we're going to do is use the mirror tool. I'm just going to select these lines to mirror, and that's the center line that I've mirrored it across. And there we are. Now, as you can see from the drawing, we've got a single line going all the way around. Okay, next thing we're going to do is draw the profile for the sweep. So in this work plane, we're going to draw out the diamond shape. There we are. And on the diamond shape, it's got a filleted edges, so we're going to fillet these edges by 1. Excellent. So now that we've got both parts, we can then use the sweep. So we can select the profile, we can then select the path. Now we might need to work our way around the model to select the different parts of the path, as you can see. So I'm just panning and selecting as I go. And we've completed the metal masher part. Okay, next thing we're going to do is the handle. So I'm going to select this work plane and I'm going to draw a circle with a diameter of 20 millimeters. It doesn't quite say in the drawing, but 20 seems to work well. For the hole to put the masher into, we're going to start by drawing a vertical line down, then using an offset tool, we're going to offset this line by 5 millimeters either side. Remember to move it to a different direction, hit minus, then do the same by drawing a line through horizontally and offsetting that horizontal line vertically by 1.4. That could be top and bottom. Next step is to draw some circles in place. So these have got a diameter of 2, and they're just going to get drawn where, as you can see. Okay, 2 more circles to draw. To draw those circles, we're going to start by drawing a line from the center of that circle to this circle. We can then offset that line by 1.4 to the side. And the circle will be second last circle will be drawn at this position here. We can do a line on the other side, offset that line by 1.4, and again draw the last circle in place. Now to finish the shape, we're going to draw lines between the circles at tangents. Remember to use the tangent constraint tool to make sure, and you should see that icon appear where the tangent's formed. And we do that in all the circles. And the same on the other side, and across the bottom, and across the top. There we go, so completed the shape. Now we're going to use the trim tools to remove the parts of the circles we don't need. We can then delete by hitting escape to come out of the trim tool, select the curve and then hit delete button, the parts of the circles we don't need. I'm just going to turn these lines here to construction lines, and if you hold down the shift key, you'll be able to select more than one line at a time, just to speed things up. And we're left with the final shape. We can then extrude the outside of the shape by 200mm long to create the handle. Okay, so we're now going to assemble these in Fusion. So we're going to start by making a new file and saving it. We can then open up the window at the side, and we'll drag in first of all the metal masher part. This bit will be fixed in place when it's dragged in. You can just click OK. So that won't be able to move. We're then going to drag in the masher handle, and we can position that I'm just going to rotate it round at this stage so it's more vertical, so it matches more of the orientation I would like. There we go. Position it up the top here. I'm just going to close the window to the side. Okay, so this is a little bit tricky. There isn't many right angle sides in this. So I'm going to go assemble and join. Click capture position so it doesn't move the handle. Now I've moved it. I'm going to select the two faces option. So that's in the middle and the top, where it's component 1, and select the top and bottom face. And then the snap position I'm going to select just now is going to be on the work plane in the center, if I can get it. There we are. On component 2. Again, there isn't lots of options, no flat surfaces really, but I'm going to use the, as you can see, there's no really any flat surfaces there. The 2 plane option once more though, so I'm going to select the top surface here, bottom surface here, and the snap position. Now I want to just rotate it round, get the work plane, and I'm looking to snap it in the center so it matches up with the snap from the component 1, the handle. I think that's it there. Let's have a look. So the handle's coming in. You can see it's slightly off. So I'm just going to remove the snap from here. Let's try that once more. Mustn't have got it right in the center. Let's try that one. It looks like the center this time. Yes, that's it lined up this time. That looks pretty good. Okay, so as you can see, I've got it lined up, but it needs to come further down. What I can do is I can right click and go edit in the menu, brings back up the dialog box, and I can slide it down using the blue arrows to slide it into position. There that looks like assembled nicely, like that. Okay, next we're going to go to render, and we're just going to add materials in render like we've done previously. So click the materials icon and search for the material you would like. Remember, drag up into this top space here. Now we've got 2 components, so we can make sure we've got the components option selected and drag and place the colors where we'd like, the materials where we like. We can then click on the rendering button. When it gets to excellent, we can click capture image. Remember to save it in your folder. Anyway, thank you for watching.